This is Top 30. Coming up, we love our cell phones, but could they be a health threat? A new rule could change the way you dine out. And they're calling him the Miracle Boy after this 13-year-old dies and comes back to life. But first, a flood on a cruise ship had some passengers preparing for the worst. Water began pouring from the ceiling and down the walls, flooding the hallways of the Carnival Dream. A guest was able to get online and post video of the flood to Facebook. The caption read, "Say a prayer for us all." The video got over 1.3 million views. One commenter said, "I literally thought this was a scene from Titanic." A Carnival spokesperson told Fox the ship's crew began working immediately. The cruise line released images of the cleanup. A pipe burst in its fire suppression system. About 50 staterooms were flooded, affecting about 100 passengers. Those individuals got a full refund and 50% toward their next cruise. The company offered to fly passengers home from their next stop. Travel writers praised the cruise line for acting quickly and for trying to make it up to its passengers. Carnival said both our crew and our guests have been amazing during this voyage. The company says no one on board was hurt. Now let's go to the New York Stock Exchange for our Fox Business Minute with Nicole Petalides. So Nicole, I'm really excited about this one. I hear Amazon and Whole Foods are getting ready for Mother's Day.
That's right, Kristen. Amazon and Whole Foods are offering lower prices on tulips for Mother's Day. A 20-stem bouquet will cost $15 in the U.S., $10 for Prime members. Americans are expected to spend $170 on average for Mother's Day for a total of $20 billion. Will Elon Musk's new venture be a candy company? In a series of tweets, Tesla's CEO said he is super serious about this. The comments came after billionaire Warren Buffett said he did not think Musk would want to take his company on in candy. Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway has owned See's Candy since 1972. A new movie subscription service is looking to take on MoviePass by offering 4 different plans, with the cheapest one starting at $5 for one movie ticket per month.
You know, MoviePass has been so popular. How is this one different?
Well, aside from the prices, users are able to book their tickets and reserve seats up to 30 days in advance. And if you're feeling hungry, the app also gives members access to restaurant deals.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Thanks, Nicole.
More people in the US are being killed by hit-and-run crashes than ever before. AAA says hit-and-run fatalities increased 61% from 2009 to 2016. It's the most recent year with complete data, as well as the deadliest year on record with 2,049 kills. 65% of them were pedestrians or cyclists. The researchers say the increase is partly due to smartphones causing more distractions for drivers, as well as those on foot and on bikes. It could also be the result of more people traveling on foot or on bikes. The number of bike commuters rose about 40% in 10 years. Safety experts say physical barriers like protected bike lanes could improve safety, but the idea is controversial because it could reduce parking or the number of lanes. Leaving the scene of an accident is illegal in every state. AAA says they hope the report will serve as a wake-up call to pedestrians and drivers.
Now to Danielle Knox from Fox 35 Orlando. She has what you need to know today. So Danielle, I hear there's a potential breakthrough for people with peanut allergies.
Hi, Kristen, that's right. British scientists say they have developed a more accurate blood test to diagnose peanut allergy. The test is also 5 times cheaper than the standard oral food allergy test. This test not only spots the peanut allergy, but lets doctors know how severe it can be to your child. Well, the store known for selling everything that you need for your home is taking a leap into the world of fashion. Check out these 3-piece suits tailored using fabrics from IKEA, chairs, sofas, and bedding. It is a partnership with a UK designer. The furniture giant says it hopes to inspire people to be bolder with their clothing, but sadly, they won't be sold at stores. The one-of-a-kind fashions will be given away in an online contest posted on the IKEA UK website. And scientists have created a contact lens that can shoot lasers from the eyes. Yes, a laser, like Superman. But it's not nearly as powerful as his. Researchers have placed ultra-thin membranes using organic semiconductors that, when placed on the iris of the eye, produce a weak laser. This comes from the University of St. Andrews in Scotland and was published in the journal Nature. They say the applications for this are endless. But can it save Superman from kryptonite? And that's what you need to know. Kristen, let's go back to you now.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. Thanks, Danielle. Top 30 will be right back. Welcome back to Top 30. A new study has renewed concerns about cell phones potentially causing brain cancer. A team of UK scientists discovered that the rate of one kind of brain tumor doubled in the last 20 years. During the same time period, cell phone use in the UK went from less than 15% to 95%. Glioblastoma is an aggressive and usually fatal form of brain tumor. It's the same form of cancer Senator John McCain is fighting. Cell phones emit a form of radiation that can be absorbed by human tissue. The study is controversial. Some scientists have said it doesn't prove that cell phones cause the tumors, just that they've become more common. Previous studies have found no connection between cell phone frequencies and increased risk of tumors, but other research has found the opposite. The study's lead author said the paper itself is not about cell phones, it's just about this change in the tumors. But cell phones seem like really they're the most likely cause. The study's authors say more research should be devoted to finding the causes behind cancer trends.
The annual visitor count to Las Vegas was down 1% last year, which might not seem like a lot, but it's actually a drop of 722,000 people, which is a lot. Anthony Curtis of the Las Vegas Advisor thinks rising fees and hidden resort costs are to blame. He said everyone hates resort fees, but the parking fee is even worse, noting that some hotels charge up to an extra $45 per day on top of the room fee. Most of the big hotels near the famous Fremont Street charge resort fees, with the low end starting at $14.99 a day. But the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority doesn't think fees have anything to do with it, saying the decline in visitors is primarily attributed to the reduction in room inventory due to renovations and upgrades at various properties and a near-term impact from the tragic events of October the 1st. Whatever the reason, it's not just resorts who are upping their charges. Even the Las Vegas premium outlets started charging a $5 parking fee this month to out-of-state visitors.
New technology could help blind passengers in cars experience a view. Ford has developed a driving instrument called Feel the View. The company partnered with a startup that makes products for the visually impaired. It works by taking a high-contrast photo of the view from the window, which then gets turned into an image made from up to 255 shades of gray. Each shade is matched to a unique level of vibration that the system sends to LEDs in the surface of the car's window. Passengers can then touch the display to get a sense of what's outside. The device also uses artificial intelligence to give passengers a verbal description of the view. A spokesperson from Ford said, "We seek to make people's lives better, and this was a fantastic opportunity to help blind passengers experience a great aspect of driving." Experts say it could help make travel more inclusive and more enjoyable for people with visual impairments.
A new villa will be the first undersea residence in the entire world. The villa will debut later this year in the Maldives and is 16 feet underwater. The suite has clear acrylic walls, giving an amazing panoramic view of the ocean and the wildlife that lives in it. You can sleep on a king-size bed and enjoy the view. And there's also a large living area and a bathroom. All those amenities are underwater, but that's not all. It's connected to an upper level that sits above water and features 2 more bedrooms, a bar, and an infinity pool. The villa can fit 9 people and even has a butler's quarters. It will open in November with an estimated cost of $50,000 per night.
Welcome back. You might think twice before ordering that burger. A new rule is in effect requiring all restaurant chains, convenience stores, grocers, vending machines, and even movie theaters to post the calorie count on their food. It's one of the last Obamacare provisions to be carried out, and studies find it can reduce the amount a person eats by 12%. And last week's volcano eruption on the Big Island of Hawaii has already destroyed at least 26 homes, while the lava and toxic gases continue to threaten Leilani Estates residents. Senior citizens and young children are particularly susceptible to respiratory issues because of the sulfur dioxide. And Bruce Springsteen made a surprise appearance at the New Jersey Hall of Fame to help induct his E Street bandmate Steven Van Zandt. Van Zandt joked, "We did the impossible. We made New Jersey hip." And now for something else that seemed impossible. Doctors are calling the recovery of an Alabama teenager a miracle after they declared him dead and informed his parents he wouldn't make it. 13-year-old Trenton McKinley suffered multiple skull fractures after a dune buggy accident. He was riding in a trailer like this one when it overturned.
It flipped, and I hit the concrete, and the trailer landed on top of my head.
Doctors said Trenton was brain dead for several days and told his parents his organs could help save 5 other children. So they made the unbearable decision to pull the plug.
But he was dead a total of 15 minutes. When he came back, they said he would never be normal again. They told me the oxidation problems would be so bad to his brain that he would be a vegetable.
But the day before doctors were scheduled to do so, he miraculously regained brain activity. He's since had 3 brain surgeries and is undergoing rehab with the goal of making a full recovery. Top 30, we'll be right back. In today's Hometown Stories from Fox 32 Chicago, a 9-year-old from DeKalb, Illinois is an aspiring rapper who hopes to use his music to spread positivity. Kamel Ali, who goes by the name K when he performs, has rapped about the importance of getting good grades, having good manners, and being a good friend.
My music is positive, and I want to make learning cool. And the other music that kids listen to today is a lot of violence and cursing and all that stuff.
And from the sound of it, his beats are really catchy.
Going hard for these good grades. Going hard for these good grades.
In our second story from Fox 35 Orlando, Leslie Hogue was just promoted to fire chief in Palm Bay, Florida, making her the first female fire chief in all of Brevard County. Currently, there are only about 50 female fire chiefs in the entire country. But the 33-year fire veteran feels ready for the challenge and grateful that she was never treated differently by her colleagues.
I've been lucky in my career that I've had strong firefighters and chiefs beside me that didn't treat me any different.
In our final story from Fox 5 DC, prom season is sweeping the nation, and one promposal in the DC area caught many people's attention. Tyon Barber just transferred to Anacostia High School, and he struck up a friendship with a senior named Kiana. Tyon was born with special needs and has never been to a dance in his life, but that's going to change real soon since Kiana invited him to go to the prom with her, and we hope they have the best time dancing the night away. Welcome back to Top 30. Now, here's a crazy story. A German court ordered a man to pay child support even though his ex-wife forged his signature to get IVF treatment. So here's what happened. When the two were married, the two agreed to freeze her eggs that were fertilized with his sperm. After getting a divorce, she forged his signature at a clinic to use those eggs and then gave birth to a baby boy.
Amazing story, isn't it?
This is someone trapping a man if I've ever heard. This is incredible. So the guy filed a lawsuit saying he shouldn't have to support the child. He called the clinic and he said, I'm taking my permission back. She cannot use his eggs. He called the clinic and did this.
But the court ruled that he wasn't clear enough in the phone conversation.
How are you
when he called the
that?
that's true.
You know, like, well, if, how are you vague about that?
How are you vague? Yeah, you're right. You're only calling for one thing.
Right.
I don't know.
Clear or not clear?
So he thinks the clinic should pay child support, but the clinic argue we had no reason to disbelieve the signatures.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Fascinating.
I think we're missing a little piece of that story.
All right, but in the end, I hope the kid's all right. So check out this video of police chasing a suspect in Columbus, Ohio on foot. You can see him fall, and then cops surround him.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun! On the ground!
But if you take a closer look, keep your eye on the guy with a cane. He perfectly times a sort of reverse roundhouse kick to trip the suspect. Keep in mind the police were yelling the suspect had a gun and warning people to get out of the way. And actually, when they caught the guy, he did indeed have a loaded gun on him.
Right, this teenager. This is such an incredible story. I mean, just the video in itself, how you don't expect this to happen. I think it was purely instinct.
Yeah.
It had to
It's
be
an instinct I don't have.
Oh, yeah, I would have ran
It's like why I could never be like a firefighter, because my instinct is not to run towards a fire, you know, run away.
Yeah.
So if the police were shouting, there's a man there with a gun, I would be like, so far gone.
You would get superhuman speed all of a sudden. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about this guy. The first question I asked when I saw this video is, who is this guy? But we don't know anything about him. They're calling him Bill, saying he's a hero, but haven't released any information.
But an extraordinary decision. It's a strange combination of being a sort of a hero and a bit idiotic and dangerous and brilliant.
Yes,
all at the same time.
Well, there's a new list, and it ranks the household chores Americans hate the most. Number 1, you probably can guess, cleaning the toilet. All right, so cleaning, do you clean the toilet at home, Richard?
No, we have people to do these things.
Well, to go down the list, cleaning the oven's pretty bad too. That's number 2.
Yeah, never done that.
And then cleaning the windows.
Never done that.
Removing hair from the drain.
Never done that.
Unclogging the sink.
Never done that. the thing I find hardest is stacking the dishwasher. I just find it so hard. It's as if I've never played the piano. Imagine if someone wheeled a piano in here and said, play a piece by Mozart. I'd be like, but I don't know what keys to press or in what. That's how I see a dishwasher. I don't know what order they go in.
You have interviewed presidents, and you cannot load a dishwasher.
I can't load a dishwasher. Somehow I brought Mozart into a conversation about dirty dishes. But nonetheless, the point was illustrated. Top 30 will be right back.
Welcome back. Sarah Verardo's husband, Michael, is a military veteran. He returned home from Afghanistan in 2010, but an IED explosion left him severely wounded. He lost his leg and suffered a traumatic brain injury. Michael now uses a prosthetic leg and a wheelchair to spend time with his 3 young daughters. But as their children got older, Sarah realized she needed a way to explain to her kids and their friends what makes their family different and special. Sarah told People magazine, "I thought I needed to give my children and their peers tools to understand what life is like for families like ours." So Sarah decided to write a children's book called Hero at Home. It illustrates the story of her husband and explains veterans' visible and invisible injuries in an age-appropriate way. The book is available now on Amazon, and proceeds will go to the Independence Fund, which helps wounded veterans and their caretakers.
Stephanie LeBay is said to be the best soccer player in Canada. So good, in fact, that she earned a spot on the Calgary Foothills FC men's soccer team. But the spot she earned was taken away almost as quickly as she got it when the league refused to let her play because she's a woman. The 31-year-old goaltender is upset over the ruling, saying, "What year is it, and why are we still talking about these issues? That's the most frustrating thing for me, is just the lack of open-mindedness." The team wanted her and wanted her to play, but still, the league has refused and banned her, saying they follow gender-based eligibility requirements. And now it seems Stephanie won't get to play at all this season because she missed the deadline to join a women's league, thinking she was going to be playing for the Foothills. For now, Stephanie's hoping to play in Europe this summer.
If jumping out of a plane at 12,000 feet isn't your thing, the adrenaline rush offered at iFly might work better for you. Coco Dominguez from Fox 26 in Houston takes us inside a special night that gave people with all abilities the chance to fly. Hi, Coco.
That's right, Kristen. iFly is an indoor skydiving facility that gives you the feeling of falling in a safe and controlled environment, which is just what these guests needed. All Abilities Night is a unique event that caters to the special needs community. Employees take their time and make sure everyone's comfortable and supported. The program is designed to help those who wouldn't usually think this type of physical activity is even possible. Seeing these smiling faces conquer their fears was a great moment. All Abilities Night is all about making the dream of flight a reality for everyone. Locations across the country do this every few months, so check it out. What about you, Kristen? Are you an adrenaline junkie?
No, not at all. Those guys are far braver than me. Thanks, Coco. And Top 30 will be right back. Welcome back. We all have weaknesses, and most of us try to hide them from others. But research says that might not be such a good idea. Cody Goff, host of the Curiosity podcast, joins us from his studio to tell us more. So, Cody, I hear sharing our weaknesses actually helps us connect with people?
That's right, Kristen. Showing you have a weakness makes people like you more. Imagine you go on 2 job interviews. Everything you say and do is identical, but in the second interview, you spill coffee all over the conference table. Which gig are you more likely to get? According to decades of psychological research, it's the interview where you were a total klutz. This is because of what scientists call a vulnerability loop, which can promote bonding and cooperation. That's where one person reveals a weakness and then someone else responds by revealing their weakness. And it doesn't always work, but when it does, powerful bonds of trust are formed, and both people can trust each other and cooperate more effectively. In other news, have I ever mentioned that I'm afraid of spiders? Back to you, Kristen.
Well, since we're telling all here, I drink way too much coffee. Thanks, Cody. You can check out more on curiosity.com. And that's it for today's Top 30. Here's what's coming up on our next show. Experts predicted the cost of college in 18 years, and it could be a shock to new parents. Plus, you might be able to get younger looking skin by changing your diet. And when a woman donated her eggs, she never expected this emotional reunion. You can also listen to the day's biggest stories by subscribing to the new Top 30 podcast on iTunes. We'll see you next time here on Top 30.